What's up, devils? J-dawg back here with another goddamn fucking video for you. This time's video is going to be answering a question that I was sent that I thought was a pretty goddamn good topic to talk about because, it's kind of a known thing in the scene, especially the black metal scene. And, if you ever get talking to like a regular person that's kind of exposed to it the first time, it's pretty shocking to them, especially when that Lords of Chaos movie came out, which came out, well, what was that, 2 years ago, 3 years ago? Which I did watch, and I thought it was pretty good. You know what I mean? I did read the book in my teenage years, so go base my memory off that. I thought they did a decent job. Definitely exaggerated, and I don't know. Euronymous seemed kind of a little bit more of a pussy than I would hope to believe them to be, but nonetheless, I thought they did a pretty good job. So this topic kind of comes up just a lot, even like I said, of people that see the movie that aren't in the metal, like, holy shit, that was crazy. And so it was actually asked. The question was asked on one of the videos, and I was kind of holding off. Not want to say holding off, but just like I was like, kept bearing in mind. Like, yeah, that's a pretty good topic. I'll record a video of that, and I'm just thought of it now. And the question is from Henrik K, which I definitely seen you comment on my other videos, which is cool. Thanks for that, brah. And pretty sure I responded to some of your questions, comments in some of my videos. If not, then I'm wrong. But I'm pretty sure I've seen your name several times. Anyways, this question is on the topic of black metal. Do you have any opinion at all about the church burnings and all that shit that went down during the 90s? I myself can't say I mind it. We didn't choose to become Christians here in Scandinavia. They burned all the shit we had before they arrived. So that's the question. Yeah, I guess I have an opinion about it, surely. Um, I mean, if you would have asked me when I was a teenager and shit, I'd probably be like, yeah, it's fucking great, fuck yeah, whatever. And I wouldn't say that my opinion's too far of that anymore. It's kind of more so like I just kind of don't give a shit, to be honest. Like, I like it for the sense of it fit the music. It's kind of cool for the definitely fitting for the just the satanic blackness of the music, so it's fitting for that. But I don't have a problem with it per se. But my only, I guess, quote unquote problem, if you want to call it that, is that I have a feeling that a lot of those guys, when they did it, they were just a bunch of fucking young dumb kids, and that they wouldn't stand for that nowadays. They were just kind of like they wouldn't do it again. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like just angry teens. So it's like it wasn't because they're so passionate about anti-Christianity and things like that. That's my perspective. Correct me if I'm wrong. What's funny is I kind of had this conversation too. I forget with who, or maybe I just thought of myself. I've been over the years when all this went down, and it's kind of like Henry. Correct me if I'm wrong. It sounds like you're from Scandinavia. That's the vibe I got from that message. What country are you from? Are you from Norway? Then I'm not sure. Let me know. And if you are, correct me if I'm wrong, but I got the vibe that it's like is Christianity even really that big over there? Like I know that there's Christians over there, but do they like really force it over there? I kind of got more the impression like it's not like it is here in America where there you get more of the stuck up fucking Christians and people coming to your house and handing you little pamphlets, these fucking Jehovah's Witnesses and shit. I'm not saying you don't have them over there. I just got the vibe it's a little bit more laid back, kind of like people just don't really give a shit as much over there. Like it's almost like the churches and stuff were almost just like castles and just like almost like just nostalgic buildings that were there for hundreds of years. In that case, kind of cool, and I don't have a problem with it because whatever. I mean, but actually, yeah, the Christian churches and shit where there's child molesters and kids are being forced to go to because their parents are just forcing them into, and then they're into this nonsense only because that's how they're raised. Yeah, that shit's. I mean, fucking burn that crap down to the fucking ground. But I get the vibe; it's not like that over there. So, like I said, these kids back in the day in the '90s burned down churches. So you guys even have that back to bad. Come over here. I mean, some of the Bible belts in the U.S., which I don't live in, but I know they exist. I forget where some of the harder ones are. I can only imagine how fucking bad it is. I mean, so they would be grown up with some severe anger and hate. So, but definitely fitting for the music and like it's bands like Mayhem, Burzum, and all the bands that are around that time. Dark Throne, Immortal, Emperor. I got to meet some of those guys. Satyricon. I met Hellhammer of Mayhem. Obviously, never met Euronymous or Dead. I met Frost and Satire from Satyricon. I think I shook like one of the guys' hands, an Emperor, but I don't know if it was an official meeting. I've definitely met a Both from Immortal. Got a picture with him. Probably should have busted that out. I remember him being a cool guy, not like standoffish at all. But what I'm getting at with meeting some of these guys, the ones that I met, they're already adults at the time, and I know it wasn't the actual like guys that supposedly were in the burnings, but around that scene and stuff like that. It wasn't like it just seemed like normal fucking dudes and like nothing like that you would kind of like. I guess the general public would overlook it and see about it. Like for me, I actually always considered and still do in a sense that like Glenn Benton of Deicide seemed way more angry and passionate about anti-Christianity than any of these black metal guys. And it's funny because what was it on the back of the Dawn of Black Hearts picture disc when Dead killed himself? That letter that was written, it's put on the back of the Dawn of Black Hearts album. Well, picture this album, yeah, it's always the letters. I think it's on all the releases. The whole Euronymous that he wrote, like, hey, Dead killed himself and Raging War, and he talks about shitty bands like Deicide and then being Posers, Sepultura, Napalm Death, I think he says. And it's kind of like funny. Well, like you see like Euronymous and some of the stories come out. It's like this guy was just kind of a fucking pussy, to be honest with you, and didn't do shit. And even though I like the early, actually I like all the Mayhem stuff that he's on, but it's like come on, and he's calling out bands like Deicide. I was like, at least God fucking Glenn kind of like he's still around doing his shit. Because here's the thing is with how shitty like Mayhem is now. Here's the thing, people, if we were wrong, this is relatively, dude, it would fucking suck ass. It would still be dog shit if he was in the band. If Mayhem was still around to this day, Euronymous never got murdered, the band would still suck. I guarantee you, it'd be drastically different. Because look at all the bands that were around at that time still putting out albums. Most of the shit's like, come on, Emperor. I mean, it's nothing like the later albums. It's, what the fuck is this? You know what I mean? Just the vast majority of the bands, it's drastically changed, but it's a shitload of keyboards added, female, like just not the same. So, I mean, at least Deicide, even if people don't like the later albums and think they're boring, I mean, it's literally the same shit still, though. It's still just regular 90s death metal. The lyrics are exactly the same. Glenn still seems angry and pissed off. Like, again, whether you like it or not, at least he's fucking kind of true to his form. So, and he didn't actually go burn any churches down, but at least it seems like he's more fucking pissed off about it than any of these guys that actually did it. So I don't know. I kind of like I said, I think it's kind of cool, and it's like I like it for the kind of like the whole mysterious image part and stuff like that. But looking at it for what it is, like me as a grown adult, if I was like fly back me in a fucking time machine to that time, me in my adult form, and looking at these kids, I'd just be like, dude, it's just a bunch of angry kids trying to get attention. That's more than likely what it was. Is when they're all grown up and shit, they don't. I guarantee they don't even give a fuck anymore. So it's it is what it is, and but yeah, kind of cool. Definitely a cool story time to hear about it always. And like, if I was to ever meet any of those guys, I would definitely kind of like talk to them about it, all the crimes and shit. It's definitely an interesting talk. But I just don't think it's as fucking quote unquote fucking tough guy where these evil badasses as it's kind of like portrayed, because it's like I just don't get that vibe. I don't at all. It was a bunch of 16-year-old fucking depressed kids. So yeah, that's kind of my take on it. I mean, most of the bands of that time from that era, I did like and do still like. Most of them. I mean, trying to think who was around there that I like that are still doing albums that I like albums by. I don't like Mayhem, no. Dark Throne, fuck no. Another a little bit of a Dark Throne rant too. Why does that band keep getting a fucking pass? And what I mean by that, if you're like, it seems like everybody in the underground, like the Dark Throne gets a pass no matter what they do. They could do like a fucking Marilyn Manson album or next album. They're like, yeah, oh fuck yeah, Evil Dark Throne. Like, and what I mean by that is they have like a punk album and like a rock album and all this shit. It's like, but bands like Morbid Angel, when they change, they get torn apart. Carcass change, get torn apart. Entombed change, get torn apart. By the way, and I agree. I think this shit they shouldn't have done. Those bands shouldn't have done that either. I think later Morbid Angel is complete fucking garbage. I think Carcass which I like Carcass Heartwork and Swan Song I actually do like, but there's a different band. They should have literally broken Carcass up, done another band. Entombed, anything after Clandestine, I think is fucking just junk. I don't like any of those albums. But the point is like the underground metal scene, people rip on all these bands and change. Hell, people will even rip on Deicide. Like, I like the first two Deicides. The rest of that shit, they sucked. I'm like, at least it's still true to form. But like Darkthrone, like they start off first as a Swedish death metal band, then they're a black metal band. Then what's like the total hate? I know there was like a rockish kind of black and rockish album, and there's a punk album in there. Like, what the fuck are these guys even into? And the thing is I don't give a fuck if that's what they want to do. I just don't understand why the underground's just like, fuck yeah, no problem. It's all the same shit. It's not the same shit at all. It's drastically fucking different. You just think they'd be getting attacked too. So the one thing I will say though is that I do get the vibe that Fenris, he actually is still legitimately into metal. So another one of the old heads that's legitimately into music. So I'll give them that. But just the fact that the music's so drastically different, I don't know why they get a pass, but literally no other fucking bands do. So a little strange to me. If somebody could answer me on that, I'd be kind of fucking curious. But I'm trying to say, so yeah, I don't like later Dark Throne albums. I don't like later Mayhem albums. I don't like later Emperor albums. Immortal, they broke up and came back. Like, I don't even really check out the newer ones. I liked the last album I really liked by Immortal was Sons of Northern Chaos. So I did like later on to them. Uh, Burzum, honestly, I'm really not a big Burzum fan at all. The first album shit, I thought the vocals were cool and some of the riffs, but most of the Burzum shit, I just, for all in all, I thought was fucking just junk. Um, so yeah, I mean, as far as trying to think, anyone from that time frame, Satyricon, obviously, I don't like at all what they're doing anymore. Trying to think of bands that were around that time that I would still currently like. Yeah, I don't think there's any bands that were around then still doing quote unquote good shit. So from the musical side, again, was it just all image, just shock value? Who knows? Kind of cool. If you were a part of that, if you were one of those people that got to witness that and you're still around to the metal scene now, I mean, definitely a cool piece of history to be a part of, I would agree. But yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on it. So probably not very overly interesting. But yeah, put your guys' comments in too about what you think. 'Cause I am kind of curious what people think. You think it's the coolest fucking thing ever? It was fuck yeah, burn those fucking churches, whatever. Whatever the fuck you think, put it in there. Because yeah, I mean, I don't check. Yeah, I guess it's kind of like a talked about topic, but no one really gives their opinion. I don't know if people are just shy about it or I don't know, whatever. But yeah, put yours in there. But there's mine, and just let me know what the fuck you think. And see you guys in the next one. Later.